Coming up in the B Broadcast Weekly Roundup this evening, Region 3 executives and local councillors engage in National Secondary Students Council Week activities. Yorkasa hosts face-to-face Jamaica Day cultural activities. The Yorkasa High School Robotics team partners with Glenmuir High School. The Art Club engages students in cultural exhibition. Environmental science students travel to Gibraltar for Cape Internal Assessment Labs and later our special Black History Month feature, Part 3. And our feedback question, which is, how did you find this term of school? Good evening and welcome to the B Broadcast Weekly Roundup. I am Shantavia Thaxter and here are the details. In recognition of National Students Council Week 2022, the Region 3 executive body headed by Regional Vice President Shantavia Thaxter and President of Students Council at Yorkasa High School, Dante Minto, all engaged in a series of activities throughout February 20 to 26th, hosted under the theme, Through the Dirt, We Rise. The Students' Council of Yorkasa High School joined with the National Secondary Students Council for the National Church Service held at Apostolic Ark Pentecostal Church of God in St. Anne. In following the week's activities, the regional executive body, accompanied by the president of Yorkasa High School Students' Council, led a delegation to Westwood and Discovery Bay High Schools to meet with the Students' Council presidents to discuss matters of regional importance. Students and staff were also engaged in local council social day activities throughout the week. Here's Janelle Spencer with your report.
Held under the theme, Through the Dirt We Rise, the NSSC launched their annual Students' Council Week, which began on February 20 and ended on February 26, 2022. They kickstarted the week with a national church service held in Brownstown, St. Anne, where regional executives Shantavia Thaxter and Azul White and members of the Yorkasa High School Student Council, headed by President Mr. Dante Minto and Chairman Mr. Bobby Francis and Mr. Mark Johnson, all joined in and represented. Mr. Francis gave an exhortation which was well received by the congregation and all student leaders in attendance. Meanwhile, Ms. Thaxter expressed a vote of thanks on behalf of the National Secondary Students Council. On Monday, the Yorkasa High School Student Council conducted general devotion as part of local Council Day activities. Following this, on Tuesday morning, the regional executives, accompanied by members of the Yorkasa High School Student Council executive body, traveled to Westwood and Discovery Bay High Schools to strengthen their bond and join forces to improve student leadership. At Westwood, President Minto and President Brown both pledged their support to doing everything they can to strengthen collaboration and leadership development within the region. Also, Principal Mulgrave at the Discovery Bay High School welcomed their twin school, Yorkasa High School's Council, as both schools pledged their support for regional partnership. On Thursday, faculty members joined in on the fun by attiring themselves in their high school uniforms as part of National Uniform Day. And on Friday, the week ended as students and staff engaged in a football match to recognize local council social day. Janelle Spencer for the B Broadcast.
For the first time in 2 years, schools across Jamaica were able to observe Jamaica Day nationally in the physical space. The Yorkasa High School engaged in a variety of activities to recognize the day under the theme, Celebrating Jamaica, Building Character, Hearts Through Arts. In the morning segment, there were displays by the Visual and Language Arts departments, a poetry corner, as well as the sale of cultural food items. And the evening segment was dominated by the Performing Arts department with a cultural concert. Here's Deandra Green with your report.
With the aim of celebrating our Jamaicanness and strengthening our cultural connection by giving citizens a deep appreciation for national heritage, Jamaica Day is observed nationally on the last Friday of February each year. On February 25th, 2022, the Yorkasa High School recognized Jamaica Day in the traditional face-to-face celebrations. Following a morning filled with art exhibitions and informative learning corners from the various departments, as well as the sale of chicken soup, saltfish fritters, sweet potato pudding, and jerk chicken, the day ended with a live concert from the Performing Arts Department. Students and staff alike engaged in musical presentations, poetry reciting, traditional and modern dances, which attracted a large crowd as the school body was entertained by the cultural performances, especially the dance-off between our students and staff members. Jamaica Day is an excellent effort to deepen national culture and engrave the Jamaican heritage in the hearts of each and every Jamaican. We do look forward to Jamaica Day celebrations in 2023. DeAndrea Green for the B Broadcast.
Partnerships increase leads of knowledge and expertise and are important to growth in any field of study. With the aim of boosting relations and building awareness through partnership, the Orcasa High School's robotic community hosted the Glenmuir High School's robotic community in an outreach project to assist in preparation for the National Robotics Competition, the first Tech Challenge, later in March this year. Janelle Campbell with your report.
After their shine at the 2020 First Tech Challenge Jamaica National Robotics Competition, the York Castle High School's robotics team is once again on a path to retain their championship titles. In an effort to prepare for this year's competition, the York Castle hosted Glenmuir High School last Friday evening for an interactive session. President of the York Castle Robotics team and Deputy Head Boy, Vidhan Kevlani gave further insights into the partnership as well as the upcoming robotics competition.
In light of the Jamaica Day celebrations, February 25th, 2022, the York Castle Robotics Community hosted the Glenmuir High School Robotics Community at the York Castle campus grounds yesterday. I would like to say that this outreach was a successful one, especially since not many people know that the project had been a mental wireframe for over 2 years, that is, since 2020 when the COVID-19 virus took off across the nation. My friend, who's also the president in charge of robotics at Glenmuir in Clarendon, had first proposed the idea of an in-person collaboration between the two institutions to substantiate our progress in the upcoming National Robotics Competition, more popularly known as the First Tech Challenge. As the abbreviation stands, FIRST means for inspiration and recognition in science and technology. This outreach event not only helped to build awareness but also boosted relations, as we were delighted to conduct social engineering with our potential alliance partners or competitors in the competition.
In addition to providing commentary about the larger culture, art makes aspects of our culture more accepting and engaging. Last Friday, the Art Club displayed students' art pieces at their art exhibition recognizing Jamaica Day 2022 and its theme by depicting our very own national emblems. Brenna Edwards with their report.
Jamaica is a small island, internationally known for its music, food, visual, and performing arts. The Visual Arts Department at York Castle High School gives every student the opportunity to fuse theory with practice, performance, critique, and exhibition. They engage students in a variety of ways to ensure completion, comprehension, and creativity. In recognition of the Jamaica Day celebrations, art teacher Mrs. Shanique Moulton and vice presidents of the art club, Justin Mills and Ansel Gordon, engaged students in an exhibition to showcase pieces done by students to depict aspects of our culture.
Thank you for that question, Ms. Edwards. As a young man growing up, I found the use of the art elements and principles very aesthetically pleasing to my liking. That boosted me to create art myself. But in order to create art, there's a lot of things you have to do. You have to do research, you have to do a lot of preliminaries to choose the right piece to publish.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mills and Mr. Gordon. Do you think as Jamaican artists we fail to embrace aspects of our culture or art pieces?
Yes, as Jamaican artists, I think that we sometimes fail to incorporate our own culture in our art pieces. And I think this is because of the influence of foreign artists and cultures. But I believe that if Jamaican artists were supposed to come together and incorporate our own culture in our art, I think this would lead to other artists in the future being able to incorporate our Jamaican culture in their artists.
All right, thank you, Mr.
The Orcasa High School's Environmental Science Cape students, headed by Mrs. Barclay, have been visiting Gibraltar in southwest St. Anne for a series of educational trips under strict COVID measures. to assist in the completion of internal assessment labs. Akela Dixon with your report.
On Friday, February 11, 2022, the Environmental Studies class, headed by Mrs. Barkley, attended their third field trip of this academic year. The goal of these trips is to have a greater understanding to complete their internal assessment. Students from Mrs. Barkley's grade 12 Environmental Studies class say that, and I quote, "It barely affects our other classes." When asked if other teachers should follow Mrs. Barkley's lead and take their students on in-field learning experiences, all students interviewed responded with yes. COVID-19 was not a challenge for these students. They all practiced social distancing and masks were on at all appropriate times. We hope to see more in-field learning experiences in the future.
As we come to the end of Black History Month, and in highlighting and reflecting on who we are as people, what we have gone through, and what we continue to fight, we take a special look at our final Black History Month feature by Jamila Levy.
Hello, good day everyone. I am Jamila Levy. Today we have Mr. Treasurer who will be answering a few questions for us as it relates to Black History Month. With that said, what is your favorite attribute of a black person?
Well, I like black leaders who are courageous and at the same time innovative. And you could say that about Marcus Garvey. Was courageous, very innovative, and very brilliant.
Right.
Although he did not get a university education, so to speak, he was quite a brilliant leader. And we could say the same about people like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Interesting response. So then, how different are you from a white person?
Well, my upbringing was not necessarily that of the European culture, although the truth is, Jamaica as a former colony, right, we would have embraced quite a number of white traditions. So remember that even our school system is not necessarily African. Our school system, to a great extent, is European. However, a lot of my cultural upbringing, the kind of songs that we sing, our worship style, our foods, that to a great extent is African.
Thank you for answering it again. Today, February 25th has been celebrated as Jamaica Day. Why is it important for us as Yorkies to celebrate Jamaica Day?
Well, we need to encourage students in particular to accept our Jamaicanness. As I've always said to those who are organizing it, we should not just focus on the old Jamaican things. We need to look at the new things, the new innovations and so on that Jamaica is coming up with. Because we tend to think of Jamaica Day as a day when we should showcase old time things. We should showcase some of our inventions, some of our intellectuals, our discoveries and so on. So for me, that should be Jamaica Day, a day when we showcase the best of Jamaica. So things that will encourage people to be proud of Jamaica. But I tend to think that we feel is a day to go back and look at the old time things that we had. So Jamaica Day is a good day to showcase the best of Jamaica.
And with that, we conclude this session. Once again, thank you.
And in response to our feedback question, we have been asking, how did you find the school term?
Our first response comes from Catcher Bradshaw, who says, "It was good, but I didn't like the 3 days, 2 days thing. I wanted to go fully, laugh out loud." Our second response is from Shanice Davidson, who says, "It was stressful." Nikhil Alwani says, "It was quite fun and exciting. A mixture of online with face to face was quite a scene. Face to face was amazing, 100% better than online. We got that thrilling sensation of being able to come back to school. As always, I am looking forward to full face to face so that I can fully experience your castle at its heights." Victoria Blackford says, "It was good actually." And our last response comes from Shania Hay, who says, "This term of school was hectic. Being face to face changed a lot of things. It also opened up my eyes."
To recap, President Minter leads the York Castle High School Students' Council through an eventful National Students' Council Week. York Castle hosts face-to-face Jamaica Day cultural activities. The York Castle High School's robotics team partners with Glenmuir High School. The art club engages students in cultural exhibition. Environmental science students travel to Gibraltar for Cape Internal Assessment Labs. And that's the B Broadcast Weekly Roundup this evening. Special thanks to our news reporters, news editors, and technical team for today's coverage. On behalf of the B Broadcasting Commission, I am Shantavia Thaxter. Have a good evening.